There I was, halfway through the sweetest cast of the morning, sun glinting off the high desert lake like it was paying me compliments, when her voice cut the air sharper than a cheap knife. "Excuse me, Mr. Harlan, just what exactly do you think you're doing?" I turned slow, rod still in my hand. There she stood at the edge of my property line like she owned the oxygen. Karen Voss, president of the Canyon Lake Estates HOA, sun hat the size of a satellite dish, clipboard clutched like a holy relic. "Fishing," I said, flat as the water. She actually gasped. "You are in direct violation of Article 4, Section 7, Water Usage and Recreational Activity Guidelines. No fishing on community waters without a pre-approved HOA permit, which you do not have." She was already scribbling, pink slip fluttering like a victory flag. "My dock, Karen. My shoreline. My fish. The lake is a shared community asset," she snapped, chin high like she was addressing Congress. "We maintain order so property values don't tank. That'll be $150. Pay within 10 days or we lien your home." I smiled the kind of smile that doesn't reach the eyes. "You've lived here, what, 18 months? Suddenly you're the water police." "I'm cleaning house," she said sweetly. "Someone has to protect civilized standards." That night I tore through every deed, plat map, and dusty bylaw the previous owners left behind. And there it was, buried in fine print no clipboard queen had bothered to read. The lake wasn't community property. It belonged to a long-defunct 1970s resort corporation that had dissolved. Title had quietly defaulted to the last asset holder, who was quietly accepting sealed bids. Next morning I made one phone call. 2 weeks later the lake was mine. Every drop. Not the shoreline. Not the docks. The entire body of water. I didn't brag. I waited. 3 days after closing, Karen rolled up again, this time with 2 board members and her little treasurer lapdog, Todd. "4 new citations," she barked, fanning pink slips like a winning poker hand. "That's $600. Non-payment triggers lien proceedings." I handed her a thick manila envelope. "Open it." She did. Her face went the color of bad sunburn. "What is this?" "Quitclaim deed. I now own the lake. Every cubic inch. Which means every permit you've ever issued for swimming, boating, kayaking revoked. Effective immediately." Todd actually choked. "You can't." "I can, and I did. Your precious HOA never owned the water. You just assumed you did. Assumption revoked." I leaned on the dock rail. "Oh, and that cute little kayak launch you love posting Instagram from? Consider it closed until further notice." Karen looked like she might actually pop a vein. "You're bluffing. County Recorder's Office has the stamped originals. Feel free to verify. Have a nice day." She spun on her heel, minions trailing like scolded puppies. But I knew Karen. Silence wasn't surrender, it was reloading. For days of eerie quiet. Then the white SUV with tinted windows started cruising past my house at walking speed. Next came the certified letter from some independent environmental firm demanding an audit because a concerned resident reported possible habitat damage. I called the number. The woman on the line went from polite to ice when she realized who I was. "You're the new owner?" Click. The following morning 3 guys in reflective vests showed up at the old community kayak rack. I walked over holding the laminated plat map. "Private property. No consent, no entry. Leave or I call the sheriff." They left, but not before one muttered, "Lady said you'd say that." By week's end 6 neighbors got letters, their dock permits under environmental review. One was my retired neighbor Ellie, who showed up at my door with fresh cinnamon rolls and a trembling hand. They've never cared before. Why now? Because they can't control the lake anymore, I said. So they're scaring everyone into thinking they still can. Don't pay a dime. I've got you. That night I drafted a certified cease and desist to every board member, copied the county water commissioner, and attached my ownership docs. 2 days later I woke to bright orange, under investigation, tape wrapped around my dock posts. No notice. No warrant. Just tape. Security footage was crystal clear. 2 hooded figures at 3 a.m., one carrying a clipboard. I recognized the walk. Darlene from the title office, Karen's loyal foot soldier. Deputy Ruiz at the sheriff's substation watched the video, eyebrows climbing. Trespass, vandalism, impersonating officials. You want to press charges? Every single one. I left with a police report and ordered 24 bright red yard signs. This lake is private property. HOA has zero authority here. By weekend, every lakeside house had one. Karen's next move was an emergency letter threatening legal action. I called my buddy Lance, the real estate shark who owed me a favor. He read the paperwork and laughed low. She's about to learn the difference between bullying and actual jurisdiction. Court date came fast. Karen strutted in 15 minutes late, flanked by a $600 an hour lawyer who looked like he'd never lost to anyone who didn't wear golf pants. The judge, a no-nonsense woman in her 60s, didn't even blink. "Does the HOA hold title to the lake?" she asked. "No, Your Honor," the lawyer admitted. "Then you have no standing." Motion for injunction granted. HOA is barred from any communication, directive, or action regarding the lake. Next month we'll hear damages and sanctions for misuse of funds. Outside the courthouse, Todd caught me. "She never told us it was this bad," he whispered. "We thought she had solid ground." "She never did," I said. "Now the whole neighborhood knows it." But Karen wasn't finished. Financial discovery hit her like a freight train. Lance's subpoena peeled back the books and found payments, tens of thousands, to fake lake maintenance companies that didn't exist. One routing number traced straight to an account in Karen's name. Another shell nonprofit registered to her cousin in Nevada. Over $52,000 vanished right before she resigned for health reasons. The sheriff's patrol car pulled up to her McMansion at 9:12 a.m. Two plainclothes detectives, folder in hand. By dinner, local news ran the headline, "HOA president under investigation for embezzlement and wire fraud." The recall vote was brutal. 72 homeowners packed the community center. One by one they stood up, Ellie, the single mom, Dana, even quiet Victor, who'd been threatened over his home office. Todd took the mic last, voice shaking. I looked the other way. "I won't again." 68 votes to remove the entire board. Karen had resigned the day before. Didn't matter. The DA issued the warrant anyway. 2 days later they caught her at Phoenix Sky Harbor, trying to board a flight to Mexico under a different name, burner phones, cash-stuffed briefcase, the works. 14 felony counts. Bail denied. The new board, Ellie elected president by unanimous cheer, spent the next month auditing every fine from the last 3 years. Over $14,000 refunded. Every bogus citation wiped. I invited the whole board to my dock one golden afternoon. Ellie signed the simple one-page license I'd drawn up. Free recreational use for every resident, no permits, no fees, no Karen-style oversight. Ever. "We won't let this happen again," she said, shaking my hand. "You've got my word on that," I told her. That evening I stood on the dock again, line in the water, no tape, no pink slips, no white SUV. Kids were skipping stones on the far shore. Dana's boy tossed breadcrumbs to the ducks. Ellie waved from her kayak, now legally back in the water. The signs stayed up, but they read different now. Not warnings. Reminders. And every time I cast that line I remembered how it all started with one woman who thought she could tell a man he wasn't allowed to enjoy his own backyard. Turns out the only thing she successfully banned was her own freedom. So tell me in the comments, true or false, the real power abuser was the guy who bought the lake to protect his dock, or the woman who turned community standards into her personal cash register. Drop your vote and let's talk.